Hey guys, how's it going? This is Chen. With spring is coming, I think that I want to take this opportunity to talk to you a little bit about the pH in the soil. So we know that pH is really important to indicate that the quality of our soil, if it's acidic or if it's basic. So when a pH level is at 7, it's neutral. But when it's below that, it's considered more towards on the acidic side. If it's higher than a 7, it's on the alkaline and the basic side. However, in our nature, in the ground, the soil pH level sometimes it's always, it's always fluctuating, it's always changing. So before you plant in the spring, I highly recommend that to get your soil tested. That doesn't mean you have to send a soil sample into the lab. You can definitely do it yourself in a very, very economic way. So once you know your soil pH level, then you will know for sure that if that is the suitable growing condition for vegetables, for flowers, and for all kinds of plants. Some plants, they just don't grow well, or they would grow at all or perform at all if the pH is imbalanced in the soil. A good example would be the pin oak trees. So the pin oak trees, sometimes you see the leaves turning yellow is because an issue called iron chlorosis. Now, iron chlorosis basically means there is an iron deficiency. But the iron deficiency doesn't mean there is no iron in the soil, but rather because of the pH imbalance, so the iron that is in the soil cannot be absorbed or become bioavailable to the tree. That causes the iron deficiency. So instead of supplementing more iron in the soil, what this person you really need to fix is actually balance your pH in the soil so all the nutrients, all the chemical elements can become available to the plant. So when you want to test the pH at home, it's really simple. There are mainly two ways that you can test your pH. One is getting a pH meter. It's an electrical meter over here, like we sell at a store. It doesn't require any battery, and it can be reused over and over again. So getting a meter here, you can stick this probe into the soil, and then this is going to tell you which level of the pH your soil is at a moment, either acidic or neutral or alkaline. Then you can adjust accordingly. Then if you don't want to go with a electronic meter, you can also use a more traditional way of testing your soil, which is using a testing kit. So the testing kit over here, this one is a multifunction one because not only it tests your pH over here, it also tests your NPKs. So your NPKs are your macronutrients. They stand for nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. So with this testing kit, you'll be able to test both pH and the nutrient level of your soil. That really gives you a good idea of where your soil is at right now to start with. Should you or would it be a good idea to supplement with adjusting the pH or supplement the nutrients in your soil before you start putting plants in the ground, right? So this testing kit has 40 tests. So it's not just one, it's 40 tests that can be reused over again. Then let's say if you get your results of the soil and you do need to adjust, there are two ways. You either adjust it more like towards the acidic side if your soil becomes very basic, you want to tone it down, or vice versa. Your soil right now is a little bit of acidic and you want to bring the pH up by tone the pH up. So by doing this, you will need two kinds of the material. If your soil right now is very basic, your pH is high, you want to turn it down, you would use a soil acidifier. Normally, the kind of the product we carry is like this. So the soil acidifier basically is adding acid to your soil to bring the pH down, to make it more suitable for plants growing. However, there are also some plants specifically like a little bit more acidic soil. For example, your hydrangeas and your rhododendrons, they really prefer a slightly lower pH level in the soil. This way that the color shows better, for hydrangeas, when you grow them in a slightly acidic soil, the color tend to turn blue more rather pink. So that's a smart manipulation of growing the plants to get them to show the color. Now, if you do need to turn your soil from more acidic to more alkaline and to raise your pH, you should add limestone to your soil. So this is another product that we carry at the store. This is a horticulture lime, and it's in a granular form. You can shake this and blend this into the soil and to neutralize your pH and bring it a little bit down. Because if your soil is too acidic and it's not suitable for growing many plants, the neutral is the best. So you can adjust with the lime and with the soil acidifier to just kind of turn it into the sweet zone for growing. Now, after the pH has been fine-tuned, you also want to supplement your soil for growing vegetables and flowers, because after a whole year of the growing from the last, and over the winter, the soil probably is just depleted with nutrients. So you want to enrich your nutrients in the soil. When you start to put plants in the ground, they can have a really good start to take off from that point, right? So over here, I wanted to feature 3 different kinds of the fertilizer with the same company, Fox Farm. We've been carrying their products for a long time, and both for hydroponics and soil-based. But this year, this season, we have 3 really good fertilizer from Fox Farm. They are all organic and Armory listed. We're really fitting to the needs of your own growing. So first is their jump starter. So this Fox Farm Jump Starter is a really good one to use to mix in your soil to get your plants started. And it's in a black bag. So if you come to the store, make sure you recognize this black bag. But this is meant to get things going, and you also have active soil microbes. So living organism in the mix that you can put in the soil goes to work for you. Completely natural, completely organic, and it's just a really good fertilizer to start with. Second is this one is the red packaging. This is specifically for tomatoes and all vegetables. You know, tomatoes is always a big hit in the growing season. Everybody likes to grow tomatoes and all kinds of other vegetables. This Fox Farm tomatoes and vegetable fertilizer is a really good one to carry you through the entire growing season for the edibles. It's also organic in the red packaging. So if you're growing food, you're growing vegetables or any edibles, use this one, give it a try, mixing with the soils. I'm sure it's gonna give you really good results. The third one is a cover it all and a blanket cover it all type of the fertilizer. This is Fox Farm's green packaging, the all-purpose fertilizer. So if you're growing flowers and if you're growing just a mixture of flowers or vegetables, this would be a really good one to use, because you don't have to specifically get the flower nutrients and then get the vegetable nutrients. For the money saving, this one will be a really good one to go with. As always, it's organic certified. So yeah, those are the 3 kinds of the Fox Farm fertilizer. I would definitely recommend it for anyone that is going to serious growing this season. And if you haven't tried a Fox Farm product, I highly recommend them, as well as their Happy Frog Soil and Ocean Forest. Many customers of ours used their products, had great things to say. So, like I said, starting the season, get your pH tested and know where you start, and enrich your nutrients in the soil. That will set you up and for success this season. If you have any questions, please drop us a line and come to the store, see us, and see those wonderful products. We'll see you next time. Thank you so much.